Just mute
Catching
yourself. Good.
catching the cold.
I don't know what it is.
Allergies, probably.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
got hit with
slept
that
with the
oak
window open
fever.
Sunday.
It's been so windy here recently. And today I opened all the windows and stuff, and I can smell all the pollen.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna suck for some people. My allergies hit at a different time. I don't remember when, but I know when they hit because I feel like that.
Like fall time.
Probably. I just know it's not when everyone else has them, so I'm pretty sure I'm dying. And then I'm
I
like,
get
oh
them.
yeah,
I get
stop.
them 2 times a year. I get them spring and fall.
That's terrible.
I had my window open on Sunday when we were playing, and after everyone got off, my nose was just clogged. I was sitting there sneezing and sneezing and sneezing. Oh, it was
It's
terrible.
happening.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, while we have a minute, I can share a wonderful picture with everyone.
Certainly. Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
Yeah,
You don't need to reformat your hard drive. Just get an SSD.
I got one, but it doesn't seem to work properly. Because it's taking way too long every time to start up the PC.
Do you have like your
yeah.
mass storage on your SSD as well?
Aw.
I'm not positive.
Like my documents and things, I moved all of that off of my boot drive and put it on a standard hard drive.
Yeah.
So the only thing I have on there is Windows on my boot up drive.
Probably a smart idea.
I always had to start my computer like at least 10 minutes before game to give it time to get everything ready.
I never turn mine off, so
I used
Yeah.
to never turn it off. But I'm trying to be
Turn it up when
responsible
it
with
locks
all
up.
save on energy.
see, I leave mine on because I remote into it from work occasionally.
Ah,
So if it's nice when I'm setting up the game or whatever, or just checking stuff because I can remote into my computer, check all my files, and move pictures and things around.
that makes sense.
Yeah. Although it's kind of gotten me in trouble because now I've got pictures on my work computer that I don't have on my home computer, and I can't get my pictures off my work computer because it's off. So
You got little man sitting up like a big boy.
I know. It's so big now.
4 months old today.
Kids these days.
He's so happy. It's a happy baby.
Always has his fingers in his mouth too. So I'm like, okay, we'll go with it.
Oh yeah, my son just discovered boogers. That's his favorite thing to
Protein,
do.
man.
He'll pick
Sure
his
there's
nose
protein
and he'll
in
go
there.
right up to his mom and and then he'll just smile because he knows he doesn't like us doing it. Like doing
I get a reaction.
it. Yeah. He gets
Trigger.
enough attention. He doesn't need to be doing that shit.
His day will come.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny.
Be like, when you find your girlfriend or your fiance, your wife or whatever,
We're gonna tell him all this stuff.
I got pictures of you eating boogers. Yeah. That
Yeah,
kid
just
You
though.
gotta hold on to that
Kids.
blackmail. Or whenever they're like, oh, Dad, I think it's time to put you in a home. You're like, do that, and these booger pictures go public.
I'll spill them on Reddit.
Right. Oh yeah. Technology, son. You don't even know. Yeah. He's more of a Star Wars
kinda
fan than I
wouldn't
am now. Jesus,
I
kid.
joke
Oh,
a
yeah?
little
Oh yeah,
How
I'll be
old
in
is
the.
he?
He's gonna be 3 next month.
Gosh, that's so
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, it's crazy, but like I'll be. He knows better than to mess with me in the morning. So it's like I get up, I get my cup of coffee, and he comes in. He's like, "Daddy, I want to look at lightsabers," and he'll either bring me his lightsabers or he'll bring me his Lego figures that are Star Wars with lightsabers. And he's like, "I want to show Qui-Gon, Qui-Gon." I'm like, "All right," so I have to pull up
bit.
Lego whatever's or lightsabers, and we'll sit there for like 30 minutes just looking through Google images
That's
of
awesome.
lightsabers. And,
He's
The way to
probably
train
like,
him.
right. You realize that that's Lego. This is the real stuff Daddy has.
oh yeah, no, he's got real Lego. He took mine,
Oh.
jerk. Yeah,
Right.
I will not let him have my Millennium Falcon though. I've got a big old Millennium
Top
Falcon up
shelf.
there. Top, yeah, it's on the top shelf. Actually, you can kind of see it. It's right there. That's it.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is. But yeah, I won't let him play with that. But I took all the figures out, and so he always gets all of his figures out. And I bought him some sets, and he enjoys it. He for some reason he likes taking the heads off all the figures and interchanging them. And we'll go to clean up, and I'm like, "Why is Leia bald again?" And he just laughs.
Because Qui-Gon did his hair today.
Yeah. He's like, "Look, Daddy." I'm like, "What am I looking at?" He's like, "Qui-Gon's got horns." What? Why does Qui-Gon have Darth Maul horns? Okay.
His own version of Star Wars.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. It's Star Wars all day. Thank God for YouTube. I got him watching his new kick is the 2003 Star Wars Clone Wars like short series. And he just loves watching that because General Grievous is in there and all the other guys, and that's like his favorite. But
I'm training mine to like D&D because every time
he
like
likes
it's like
dice.
Dungeons and Dragons, and he'll sit like I don't have my camera on, but when he's awake, normally the only time he's calm is when he's sitting staring at you and Ryan on Skype and watching you guys. Like he knows his Uncle Ryan probably better than any other family member now because he watches
Yeah.
him twice a week.
That's funny.
He'll sit on my lap on his pillow, and like if I try and move him so he can't see the screen, he'll start to cry. So I'm like,
Oh,
watch them, you can listen.
That's
I know
awesome.
you guys can hear it, but he does talk back to you guys very
that's
often.
funny. That's adorable.
He's gonna be a D&D guy. I'm determined. He'll do much better than I am too.
I'll probably do it at some point with my son once he understands, but I
Yeah.
don't have the patience to sit there.
Well, he's gonna have
This
to
is-
be our kid's DMs. Remember, we've already discussed this. Ryan's gonna clone
Right.
himself.
I'm working on it.
Oh, jeez.
Be like, Rom, this is Bryn, and clone Ryan. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's there to take care of Bryn, not the other way around, right?
We'll see. We'll see.
So Amanda, did you take a feat or did you do stat bumps?
I did the stat bonus. That's why I have a plus 10 to stealth now.
Nice.
I thought about a feat, but I was like, I don't know. It's too much to pass up with 10 stealth. So I can do a feat later. Because you gave us a feat at the very beginning, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. I was like, because I have a feat, so I want to make sure I'm not cheating. But
Oh, we know you.
yeah, we know me. Very simple for me to cheat somehow. Not trying. It's natural.
What about you, Ted? Did you go stats or you go feet?
I went stats. I got
Nice.
+8 acrobatics and +8 sleight of hand.
Nice. Oh, so you went for
Ninja monk.
the max dex?
Yep.
Awesome. That armor. Ooh.
Yeah, bump me up to 17 with no armor.
Damn.
Not too shabby.
Right?
Yep.
You go first. So we'll always be pushing you in front. Don't worry.
Be like
I'll
Yoda,
hide
just
behind
bouncing
you.
around everywhere.
Oh, don't worry. I have a way of making you not bounce
I don't like
around.
Let's just take that out of the equation right now. I'm not good at what I can move.
How about you,
I know,
Ryan? What'd you go with?
I'm going for the Arcanist feat to get a +1 to my intelligence, gain expertise in Arcana checks,
Ooh.
and pick up a couple of cantrips and the detect magic spell without using a spell slot once a day.
Nice.
Or once a long rest.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good you're high on Arcana because everyone knows that shit at it. So, and that's the
So that gives you expertise in Arcana, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Expertise in Arcana, and that way the next time we get the stat increase, I can boost both my charisma and intelligence, and both the modifiers will go up.
Very
And I'll be
nice.
happy about that. So it was difficult not to just go Magic Initiate again for more spells.
Yep.
So the SRD doesn't want to load right now, so I might have to manually input these spells. Which could be fun.
some of them actually adding spells to this character sheet is a lot easier.
Yeah,
in
you
the
don't have
old-
to click add and put it in there. You just drag and drop.
Well,
it. So-
no, even if that thing, because one of the spells I got from Sunday wasn't in there and I had to type it in manually, it was like the old character sheet was so much more difficult than this one. It's like really self-explanatory for a simple mind like me. I'm like, oh yeah, wow, this is so great. Like,
I
wow.
don't think they changed that from the last sheet.
From the very first one on the old Sunday game.
Yeah.
The input,
The very old sheet. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that because I've always just dragged and dropped. You know.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I know
no.
what you're saying.
It's okay. It's okay.
He knows it's D&D time.
I know he knows. There they are. There they are. Now we're happy. I can hear the dungeon master speaking. I have to watch. Might be able to turn the camera on for a second. See what it looks like. There we go.
Oh.
You guys are right there in case you're wondering. That's what he's looking at.
That's where his
Hello,
attention is.
guy.
No sudden movements.
They're talking to you. They're talking to you. He gets very excited.
I can tell he hasn't blinked in like a minute.
Just look up. He's like, I have to watch them now. This is life. Camera back off because otherwise my computer starts to screw up. Gotta love Skype.
You turned your camera on and everything started breaking?
No, it used to be that way in the past. So I'm like, I'll just not test its limits. But
He is adorable, though.
yes, he is. He's puked only like 4 times on himself today, so we're doing pretty good. He loves outfit changes. So I know I cut out a little early. It was kind of on time, but last week I didn't get a chance to watch the episode. Where did we leave off? Because I know that we got that one. I got his chip out, so he's like standby mode or whatever. But that's where I left.
Right. So we left off with the party getting their loot, including the level up holocrons, and the party had left the planet in order to let the heat die down from what they did, what you all did. And so you guys were basically getting onto your ship and jumping into hyperspace, where you leveled up, and we were going to determine where we were going from there. So you didn't miss much.
Okay.
You basically just turned in the quest and then got out of the city.
Awesome.
Or off planet.
But we did pull in the Starbucks before we got on the highway, so you might
Yes.
not have got anything.
Estelle needs more caffeine in her life.
Right?
So you think he's on a crazy customer call, and he's just like, I gotta get out of here.
Well, he
Always.
usually gets in here about 15 minutes before 9.
So, Dia, just asking, not that I'm not appreciative, but why did we level up twice?
Because I'm going to be running an accelerated game, and I want to be able to experience the higher level stuff.
Okay.
That's all.
I'm totally fine with it. I was like, what did we do? We did something really badass.
Honestly, I did not plan for this campaign to be a very long campaign, mainly because I don't know what the hell I'm doing and nothing's prepared, so I'm just winging it. It's very, very much so a Monty Hall campaign where we're just going to do all the fun stuff, and the serious stuff is on Sunday.
That's totally fine with me because I just have a fun time with Sal, and I don't know where her life is going either, so I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, I have even less notes this week than I did last week, so I have a sentence of things prepped.
Well,
and it's not even things prepped, so...
The way my stats are, I'm like totally gonna like try to Superman this. Hope I don't die, but he's gonna be a ninja.
Gonna be named.
I mean, you pretty much are with 20 decks.
Oh yeah, bouncing off walls, backflip.
Bullets bouncing off you. I'd say you're good.
Oh hey, I do have a question. Deflect missile.
Yes.
I guess I can kind of, store it up with the like deflecting the laser shot off my staff and redirecting it.
Yeah, you can do that, or we can say that, because you get that at level 5, correct?
No, I have it now.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, like, you just hit level 5 and that's when you get the ability.
Oh no, it came on level 3.
Oh, level 3. We can say that you have, like, some sort of glove that's made out of a material that can reflect blaster bolts, and so you can either catch it and reduce it, or you can catch it and throw it back.
I would rather just be off my staff and like how the Jedi's deflect or redirect at somebody else.
Okay.
See, he agrees with me.
I'm sure he's trying to tell you how you should properly do something that we haven't even thought of yet.
Most definitely.
If you take a multi-class level into...
Like, oh,
We know,
wait,
baby. You're a baby. We know better than you.
He's watched more hours of D&D than we've played.
He's at least listened to a lot, that's for sure.
Not for long. Just wait till they hit teenage years. Then they will know more than you. I think so.
I honestly can't wait till my son gets devastated that Obi-Wan and Ben are the same person. He swears they're two different people. He's like, no, that's Ben. I'm like, no, that's Obi-Wan. No, that's Ben Kenobi. No, that's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I was like,
well, I'm sure just the way
life shattering right there.
Yeah, it's gonna be life shattering once he.
Does he know Anakin's Vader or not yet?
He knows, but sometimes I think he forgets.
No.
Sometimes I think he gets himself confused. Like he's like I'll be wearing wearing the Darth Vader helmet that I got, and he's like, "You're Darth Vader," and I said, and you know, say something like, "Oh, I'm Luke," and I'm like, "Yeah, and I'm your father, Anakin," and he's like, "No, you're Vader." It's like, yeah. And he's like, "Who's that character?" And I'm like, "That's Luke's
and
father."
You cut off your son's hand. And you're like, "See, you understand now?"
Right. He's got a lot to learn, but
oh God, so much to learn.
That kid though, he can name off like all the Jedi Masters that are on the council. It's crazy.
Just keep him away from deep pits, okay?
Oh, I can't promise that.
I picked up a couple of skills specifically for that very reason.
Just in case if I try to throw you into a pit.
Yep, for the very next time we encounter.
We got Featherfall.
High ledges.
Teleport.
Well, I was thinking about Featherfall, then I was like, you know, in order to be able to help people, if like it's just my droid scouting out with somebody else, I picked up Spider Climb so that they can like walk along the outside, maybe even potentially along the outside of the ship or something, depending on what happens. And then I also picked up Levitate because I'm like, you know, zero gravity kind of a thing. That could be nifty.
That's fun.
That is very nifty.
You're not creative.
So what I have to do is I have to put your ship into a black hole, which is the deepest pit of all space. Got it.
Oh, jeez. Look at that.
There's plenty of black holes in Star Wars, and they're all over the place. It's right next to the McDonald's.
Lord, yes. It's called a drive-through.
Alright, time to start typing in spells because let me reload. Let's see if it reloads.
You know what you could do, Ryan, is go to D&D Beyond and just copy and paste the information.
Yeah, if I have to do it manually, I might just do that. I'm going to reload real quick to see if that fixes the SRD compendium thing.
Yep, you got time. I just had a really good idea and I lost it. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, when you get a chance, look at my money and tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think you have 0.
No, hold on, I'll check.
I just destroyed our DM.
You can just give it all to Sel and I'll keep track of it for you.
Yeah, you seem trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm great with money.
All right, you still have that Wookiee
Give me all the
with
drugs.
I'd rather give you money than let you pick your own items.
off of the ship while we're flying it.
Right?
To be fair, I didn't know we were actually going to be flying it, okay? It was supposed to be grounded for another day.
We
This
start
looks shiny.
scrapping our navigation systems mid-flight.
You guys didn't need it anyways. We got to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
your question?
Look at my money. I could have sworn on our last game something was said about too much was given or not the right amount. But I never spent anything at the beginning. I had quite a bit.
No, you're right there.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't me.
No, you're right up there with Amick. He hasn't spent any money either. Yeah, no, you're all right around 5,300 credits.
Wait, what?
53.75 is what I got. That's
Yeah.
just what we were in because I spent everything I started with.
Yeah. Go ahead and put yourself at 5,700 there. Sell.
Amanda, you might have missed the payout from when we brought back the bodies.
Yeah,
And
you missed the distribution.
When we turned in the quest.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that part. Okay.
Yeah, remember we all agreed
I'm
that
17.
That
Ted
Cell wouldn't get
deserved
that portion.
Cell's portion. We split it up without telling you.
Cell's portion went to the DM to buy a super weapon.
Yeah, I gave
I felt like we
that
were
to Del
going to
Road.
win too.
Yeah, it said SEL right at the bottom of it. She said, give to both.
Aww.
Doesn't like you guys stealing money from me.
Apparently. Alright, is metagame to ask what to spend on? Because I have no idea for a monk.
It's entirely up to you. How do you want to play them?
That's
shoot.
not metagaming. This is the perfect time before Nick gets here and action starts to discuss with your crew members what would be ideal for a Jedi monk or monk with supernatural abilities.
I'd agree with that, except for it's like a weak Jedi without the class. It's like, all right, I got the Jedi for Dummies book and I studied up on it. Oh yeah, you can do this.
In tuned with the Force. So I can link you. I think did I link this last week?
I think you linked to the same magical prices.
Yes, I did. So Ted, if you go to the sane magical prices, those are more accurate prices for objects.
Just try to turn them into something Star Warsy.
No.
Yeah. So if there's something that you want, I can make it Star Wars. That is easy cheesy.
Necklace of fireballs. Do you have to be a user to use it?
Nope.
Can I just spend all of my money on death sticks?
I mean, you guys know we're a planet of spices.
Right?
So
Can I buy real estate?
I don't see why not.
Location.
Yeah. Yeah, so, if there's anything that you want, things that might be
Hey,
good.
is there a market going on? Wall Street type? Can we invest in something?
Not at the moment.
Like benta manure?
You haven't been to a planet with banthas yet. So.
Also, Lucas, something I only just realized, the command spell is not in the wizard's repertoire, so I'm going to effectively reconvert that command spell back to the spell scroll.
No, you can use it.
I can use it?
Yep.
Cool beans. Sort of wise and generous.
This is magic. You can make anything happen.
Oh,
Honestly, I didn't really care what class it was because I thought it was fitting for a Sith Lord to have the command spell.
oh yeah.
I mean, I could have done compel. I was like, that doesn't sound very Sithy. That's more Jedi. Like, you may want to do this, not do this. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that you can get for what you guys got.
All right, I have a staff,
Yes.
basically $5,000.
You want to
What
pour
is the
$5,000 into your
possibility of-
staff?
Is there imbuing?
Yes, that can be done, yeah. Let's see. You can make it a +2 weapon. You can... Might have to tweak some of the prices, depending on what you're getting, but... Or what you're looking at getting.
I just learned Stunning Strike. Can I apply that to a staff?
Yeah. Any strike that you do can be stun. It doesn't have to be unearned.
So it doesn't have to be like a kick or a punch. I can
No.
use it with a staff.
No. But, so yeah, so you get 2 staff strikes as a standard action, and then you can bonus action for free do a punch, so that's 3 opportunities per round to spend a key point to try to stun.
And if I do 2 staff, bonus action,
To
and
flurry.
then a key point, is that 2 more on top of the third?
No. So you get 1
Or
additional.
4?
So you'd have 4 total strikes. Yeah.
What about basic arcane? And fire, ice, lightning.
What?
You know, for damage on the staff. +2.
Oh, yeah, you can do +2, which just makes it magical, +2 to hit, +2 to damage, or you can do, for 5,000, you can get Flame Tongue, which I don't have my DMG on me, which adds fire damage.
1 to 10. Or no, that's things.
Yeah, so, Flame Tongue basically makes it a torch, and it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage on any target that you hit.
That per strike?
Per strike with the sword, yes. Or with the weapon.
Is that with the same any property? Ice, electric, necrotic.
Yeah, we can change that to any damage you feel is fitting to your character. If you're gonna spend the money on it.
Hell yeah, I can't unless I go all healing. It always seems like a waste. Costs too much to buy healing. Bracers, rings, amulets of protection. They don't go against me wearing armor, right?
Correct, yeah. So you can wear a cloak, a ring, or bracers to get protection. So bracers of defense are 6,000. Cloak of protection is 3,500. Rings. Ring of protection is 3,500. I don't think they have a necklace of protection. So it's either rings, bracers, or a cloak. Hey,
Hello.
What's up, nerds?
what's up?
So am I just adding all the items I want to my sheet, or are we rolling and shit for that?
Just depends on what you're getting.
I want a ring of protection, and then I want my guns upgraded. Pew, 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 pew.
And you've got, what, 2 guns?
Yeah, so I just want +1 on both guns, and then a ring of protection.
Which is 35. Yeah. As long as you got 55, you can do it.
Cool.
And we can say that you guys hit a market before you left.
I'm gonna be at 0, but fuck it.
All you need is the guns on your hips and the armor on your back.
Let's see. Add +3.
So you're doing, what, 2 plus 1s, right?
2 +1s for the guns.
So you find, for a little flavor, you find a cortosis-lined barrel that has rifling to actually spin the blaster bolt to hit harder and shoot more accurately.
Dope.
Because flavor is delicious.
Yeah, and then I couldn't decide if I wanted the Ring of Protection or if I wanted the
I'm surprised you didn't go with like more armor, like a plate mail or something.
Bracers of Defense was the other thing. I was like, oh, if I could just sell something worth 500 gold, that would have that. But I don't have anything worth 500 gold. Unless this lightsaber is worth 500 gold.
You haven't appraised it.
Scathos could lend you the 500.
Oh. I'm surprised you didn't do bracers of archery or something.
It only affects short bows and long bows. Bullshit.
Not blasters?
Or crossbows.
It affects all weapons.
My things are essentially crossbows.
Well, yeah, but this is Star Wars.
Well, I mean, if you let it count, I mean, that's...
Yeah, I would let it count. I think limiting
That's
archers
bonkers.
to just short bow, long bow is stupid. So
Okay, well,
in this
that
case,
I might change what I'm doing here.
let's see how much are the braces of archery going
Because
for?
if I do bracers of archery for 1,500 and I do +1 armor for 1,500, and then I would have 500 credits just left over, and I'd have a +1 to my armor. It doesn't give me +1 to all my saves, but it would give me +2 to that damage. So that'd be pretty sweet.
Let me check something here. Excuse me. Depending on what your funds are, you could get mithril plate mill.
How much would that cost?
Well, mithril is only 800 on top of you, so 36.
Mithril armor, medium or heavy?
No disadvantage on stealth, and it doesn't have a strength requirement.
Yeah, but that doesn't make my AC any higher.
It
Well, I
makes
guess
it
it'd
too
make
higher.
it if it was. How much would that cost me?
36.
1,800.
It's 18 for the plate, another 8 for the treatment.
That'd be 26.
26, sorry, not 36. Plenty of options.
Yeah, but then
Then you only get one weapon upgrade.
I've got 5,500 is what I got.
So if you bummed 100, you can get 2+1 weapons and mithril plate.
Or I could sell this lightsaber.
Or you could possibly sell the lightsaber.
I kind of want to keep the lightsaber. All right.
How much do you need?
100 gold. Who wants to
100?
Who wants to bum me 100 gold?
Oh, Scalos will absolutely do it to the guy who saved his life.
Okay.
Too many
Even
times
though
to
we're
count.
technically even.
So yeah, I'll go to 0 then. I'll get my 2+1, and then I'll get mithril plate armor. I'm just
So-
gonna put it in as Mandalorian. full
Mandalorian, Mandalorian combat armor.
plate. All right.
Which actually you can sell your Mandalorian standard armor for your chain shirt for half price. So you can get 35 gold out of that, or 35 credits.
He'll give that to Scathos.
What are you giving to Scathos?
35 credit. Unless you
35
want me
credit.
to have some spending money.
Keep the 35 for now. Just pay me back in full.
Someone's got to
Alright.
pay for gas for this jalopy.
So sorry, you said what am I putting? Mandalorian
Combat armor.
combat.
Sorry, my voice.
Alright, and this is heavy armor, stealth. I don't get disadvantage on.
Yep.
AC should
18.
be.
Alright. Bracer defense, what would that give?
They give you a
plus-
+2 as long as you're not wearing a shield or armor.
Yep. Which is great for a monk.
Super great. Damn, my HP is high.
Oh yeah.
60.
I need
Oh,
$700. You make
Oh,
us
I'm
a
almost
cred.
half the HP.
what?
I'm almost at half your hit points. I got
I
Nice,
thirty-
man.
I rolled max, and then he rolled almost max, and I was just like, oh, dope.
Plus a fighter, you know, that D10 really goes a long way.
Well, and I have a +3 to my con. All right, I'm all ready.
Anybody got 700 cred lying around?
Depends. What's this lightsaber's worth, I guess.
What do you need it for?
+2 to armor.
Tell you what, Scathos can lend you that gold. You said 700?
Yeah, I'll double it when I pay you back.
All right.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Write that down. I owe you.
Yeah.
Amick
Alright, so-
leans down and says, I'm not making that deal.
I'm not making that deal.
All right, Ted. So, what all you're getting?
Just that one thing, braces of armor. Or what's it called? Braces of protection.
Okay, so you're gonna get bracers of protection
or
and what
bracer
else?
of defense.
Bracers of armor, that costs 6,000, so that's all of his
Oh, okay,
money.
so you're not going for the weapon. You're just going for defense then.
Just
Okay.
all D.
It's okay. I've got plenty of damage.
If you
Now
can
that
hit.
I get 3 attacks.
Oh, I'm just messing with you, Nick.
Huh? What'd you
I
say?
said if you can hit.
Dude, Amick doesn't miss. What are you fucking talking about?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you missed the guy 3 times up
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, because I have all of those attacks.
I know. Yeah. The sheer amount of attacks between you
I
and
can do
the
6
monk.
attacks in 1 round. It's bonkers.
Yeah,
Or
you
no,
and the
no,
monk is gonna make my life difficult.
I could do a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks in 1 round. Because I can't do the bonus twice.
Right. Still. 5
Still.
attacks from you, 4 attacks from the monk. Good God.
Mm.
So a Tarrasque shows up in the middle of space.
Yes, your AC is
We get
17.
it, Bola. We get it.
Jesus. Stop it.
Suck it. Mine's 18. What do you want?
I'm,
Are you trying to edit it?
I
Oh, yeah?
am.
Are we comparing ACs? We'll get a load of this.
I need to add +2 to mine.
Make a piece of armor that's called bracers of defense.
Oh,
And
that would make
add
sense.
+2 AC.
I think Scathos is going to pick up a circlet of blasting. Basically, a once per day scorching ray spell.
Okay.
I gave
That's 5.
my players that item, and they have yet to use it.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of offensive spells, so that'll be very
It's like-
useful for me.
It's like, I'm giving you like fucking, magical items, and you're just not using it. It was even tucked away in like a secret compartment, and she found it in there, and I was just like, oh no, here, take this, and then nothing.
Kids these
Yeah,
days.
it doesn't even require attunement. It's just a free spell slot.
I will
And it's just
absolutely
for a
take it.
druid. A druid has it. This is like you get to use this.
That's a perfect opportunity to use it.
No, armor didn't work. It knocked my DC down.
Hold on. Let me see your. Hold on.
Didn't we have this problem on Sunday?
Yes. I'll fix it.
Thank you, Daddy.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Well, you got 2 different unarmored defenses in here, so you don't need both of those.
That's right. I took the tap crawler feat, so we have 2 people that can hit with unarmed strikes. I mostly did it because I realized that if we're going to be bounty hunters, we need to have good grapplers.
Could be useful.
Oh shit, I need to log out.
You're
Oh
right.
god, I'm dying. I like took a hit,
No.
and then like
Confidence
spun
fine.
around. I was like, oh, I need to fuck off at work.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Can't be high and on the clock at the same time. That's a no.
Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know why it's not letting you add that, but we'll put it down there saying you're wearing it. I can add it up here.
Can't you just make
I think it might be affecting the monk's ability for the unarmored monk's defense thing,
Yeah, it's
because it's
dumb.
considering it a piece of armor.
Yeah. Even though you
Oh,
tell
can
it
you
to
do it
be
on
a
the
type
cog?
nothing, it should still add it, and it doesn't. So it's
Can you do it on
Could
the
you make
cog?
it a type shield?
Because
Because
you
monks
fix
don't
it
get
on
the
the cog?
defense with a shield, right?
no, they don't.
Oh, never mind then.
You can adjust it on the cog, I think.
No, yeah, I am. For some reason, his dex keeps dropping off his armor.
You could just make that piece
Okay.
be the like 19 AC or whatever.
Just
it's called.
put armor on there, and we just know that he should have 17 AC.
No, I got it. Yeah, the shield actually worked for some reason, but if you tell it to be light armor, it doesn't work. So there we go.
Cool.
You're up
And
to
I'm all
19
locked up.
AC.
Let's do this shit. Yeah, and I don't have to go into work. I'm working late tomorrow, so I don't have to go into work till like 1. It's great. And I don't have to be on the phone tomorrow. I'm gonna be part of a training class where I'm like, just like, you know how like when you're in training and they always bring like one person that knows what they're talking about to like help out with the trainees. I get to be that person tomorrow.
Nice.
So I don't have to do shit tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I have to drive in though, but it's like from 1 to 10. So like I miss traffic both ways, so it's not gonna be that bad, I hope. Skathos, what items did you get?
The circlet of blasting.
And
That's it for me.
Okay.
Man, 800 credits loaned out. Scanos is saving up for bigger things.
What did Cell get?
I was just gonna ask her.
I'm saving for something.
Oh.
You saved all of that money?
All of it. I didn't even know I had it until like 20 minutes ago. So
Yeah, because Amanda wasn't here whenever we claimed the reward for the bodies and items.
no, luckily Ted was like, "Do I have too much money?" And they're like, "No, you have 5,000. That's good." I'm like, "Wait, yeah, 5,000? How did that happen?" So, but then I look through and I have an idea of what I want to get, but it's got a little bit
Place
of
all the
saving.
crap you stole off the ship.
Let's see. What would Amanda want?
A death ray of some sort.
That would be good. Oh, it's a simple item, but I think it could be very fun. So we'll see.
I'm surprised you didn't take like gloves of thievery or something. They're like 5,000.
Oh, now this one's just a little more. I don't know. Goofing off.
So we'll have to find that out later.
Is it the X-ray vision ring?
No, but that would be fun.
That'd actually
just-
be great for someone who likes to crawl through ducts.
It's either that or it's like the ring of invisibility.
Nah, I got a 10 stealth now. I'm not worried about ever being.
We'll never find her ever again.
Till she rolls that 1.
I've got a 10 to hit stuff.
You guys are obnoxious. All right.
We're gonna play cat and mouse all the time on the ship, me and Amick. I'm gonna be that
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Well, if
Um,
I'm unarmed striking you, I can actually roll a d4 now, and then I can just grapple you.
Yeah,
As
that's
if
pretty
you
cool.
find me.
Oh yeah, my perception is only a +4. It's not the greatest, so you're probably good.
All right. So we were getting ready to blast off into hyperspace after you all did some last minute window shopping. Where are we heading?
Oh wait, we weren't shopping at our destination.
Nah, I figured you shopped before, just in case if you guys get
Oh,
into something.
I had
actually.
chosen Liana because it was a good shopping point.
Still go there, but
Well, that's where I chose. Look, I even plotted it out.
I like that.
That's what it looks like on the navigation screen.
Doesn't it look
Mhm.
so pretty? I was
That
just
is
like,
so
oh, I could do this.
So proud of you, Nick.
Much better than my-
Alright, I'm pretty good tactical and a pilot, but Captain, no. Somebody needs to like step up and be full on.
So last week we heard from Skathos saying he wanted to go to Korriban.
Oh yeah, we wanted to go where that the coordinates were on that treasure map.
I
So
know.
since you don't necessarily need to do shopping, is there somewhere else that you would like to go?
Treasure map place.
Well, Liana was a place I chose to go because it was near Korriban.
Yeah.
So let's say we shopped on Liana and then we went to Korriban.
Alrighty.
It is time.
It is time. Alright, so we'll
Because we're
move
gonna have
you-
to fill up. We can't fill up on Korriban.
Nah, definitely not. Alright. So you guys are all getting in your positions, everyone's getting comfortable. Amy's kind of, after he's inputted his coordinates, is making sure that his rifle and blaster are all homed in, and everyone else
And
is getting adjusted.
pristine looking.
Awesome armor with his Brad Pitt face. And
Right.
He looks great, and I'm sitting there in a burlap sack next to him.
Amic's a
With the
good
neck
looking
burn on.
guy.
so we jump into hyperspace to Korriban, and you get there no problem. You see on the planet, or when you come to the planet, you see it looks very much like Mars or like a Saturn, where it's very orange and red. Not lava, but looks like very high desert, clay desert
I
everywhere.
say those are two very different planets.
Two very different planets, yes.
Like, one's a gas giant, and one's a solid
I meant the
terrestrial
colors.
planet.
The colors of the planet.
That's why I wasn't gonna say anything till you finished.
I know astronomy a little bit. Astronomy.
I love that shit. I can't get enough of it. Sorry.
So when you guys do a rudimentary scan, who's going to be running the scanners on the ship? Debbie, Amick?
No, it'd probably be Vol.
All right, well, give
I'm
me
fine.
well,
I mean, what all does a pilot?
Yeah, I mean,
well, if you're going through, if you like when you come out of hyperspace and you're not actually flying, you can still go and toggle other things.
Got it.
So
Give
give
it to
me a just give me a sleight of hand.
Must be 26.
Okay, perfect. So when you come into atmosphere, or before you come into atmosphere, you do a rudimentary scan, and there's not a whole lot of activity on the planet. There doesn't seem to be any major hubs, not any space travel. It seems like a relatively barren planet. You get a couple of electronic signatures, but it's nothing dense like a metropolis or a city. So you think it's...
Gathos, get in here.
What?
Yes, what is it?
Where exactly are we supposed to land on this rock? There doesn't look to be any kind of civilization or anything.
Well, from the navigation coordinates that we received, A23816-2846C.
Scan that
Hard
part.
to get more precise than this.
I'll scan
that-
that area
Oh,
and look for any
oh.
kind of power source, life forms, stuff.
Have we had enough time to rest since our last endeavor?
Yes.
All right.
Ah,
Yeah,
why did it reset my
you've made 2
HG?
jumps since you guys have been in Narshada, so you guys have
Okay.
enough time to rest.
Just wanted to double check before I gave myself.
Oh, I
spell
hadn't
slots.
changed it on the little one. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, you guys are all freshed up, ready to go. So with your 26, you still didn't. You guys kind of did a flyby, just kind of scanning the whole thing. There's not a whole lot of tech that you can see on the scanners. No
Well,
metropolises.
Probably pretty safe to just land near it then.
It's all
Scan
dirt. We
for
can just
love.
land wherever.
Life forms?
The ship you have will not be able to scan for life forms from that far up on in the atmosphere. You'd have to be closer to planet side to start scanning.
Alright, so we'll drop down, keep low to avoid any kind of radar that would be cutting across mountains, hills, and stuff.
Okay. So, flying in through canyons, staying relatively low, weaving in through, and you're picking up life forms. Can't really get specifics, but there is life on the planet. There's small pockets here and there. Occasionally, you'll see larger, like heat signatures. And then groups of smaller ones seem scattered throughout the horizon.
As a group, is there something specific we're looking for? What is this location giving us?
Some sort of a temple. Perhaps it is hidden or buried.
We're looking for treasure. Secret treasure.
So
Do we
I look for temple icons, like shapes.
Okay. You had something to add, Nick?
I was gonna say, do we have a way of like scanning for certain materials?
Skathos, give me an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Oh,
29.
Casual
Christ.
29.
So this particular vessel has not been outfitted for mining operations. So it does not have that particular scanner array installed. I know that you had looked at different ideas of things that you could put on the ship, and it seems like the ship could be adapted to do some kind of mining operation.
Not so much mining as much just, we could scan for that, one of those, the Kyber crystal things that the wizard dudes put in their swords. We could scan for that. That'd probably help us find our temple, but Or we could just put it in these coordinates, fly there, and land and take a look around.
If you can get us to the ground, Bo, I can bring some of my hand scanners down to the surface to see what I can find. But from higher up in the atmosphere, I'm afraid my own technologies are insufficient.
I look for a good spot to where it's up top, but not visible, not on a perch.
Okay, so you find like a lower plateau.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, so you come in
Over there.
and you kind of land in a valley. So you got kind of like a mountainside on either side, like cliffside on either side. You land, and you run a brief scan of the atmosphere, and it's breathable. It's not 100% like comfortable, but it has adequate levels for breathability.
Amick puts on his helmet and he says, "All right, let me go look out first."
Stealth's gonna go through the droid exit and end up on top of the ship as he's going down
Okay.
below.
Okay. So Amick comes out and he looks out on the horizon off of this plateau, and you see again like more of this red earth, red clay, and you see red sand. Just it's kind of eerie. It's very monochromatic all the way through this tunnel or this valley, and you can look off and you start to see what look like ruins. Think of like the Washington Monument, very tall, square pillars with pyramids at the top. Some of them have toppled and crumbled, but they're very
Obelisk.
uniform. Like where their bases are is uniform. They almost make like a hallway or a passage.
Amick will shout back up the ramp, "Scathos, come on down!" But I think I see it.
Very well, and I'm going to send Simon after Cell. I do not trust her alone for extended periods of time.
Oh, crap! Where'd she go?
She doesn't even have to stealth. Her passive stealth is so great that you won't even know.
Yep. I do not know. Did we leave her behind on the last planet?
I'm pretty sure I threw her on the ship.
Did we
Oh,
accidentally leave her
how
behind?
unfortunate.
She's been hiding this whole time. You've seen it in a box.
Can't have
Even
can't
in
have
my
anybody
hamster
getting a
wheel.
hold of her and her ratting us out.
I will seek out the medical droid and ask him to take a reading and see what our capabilities in this atmosphere is.
Yes, sir. I will do so momentarily. And he goes over to the ship's console, plugs in, and it's you kind of see his eyes almost project like that blue with the light blue text, and it's just kind of projecting over his face, over his eyes, and he says, "The planet is hospitable for normal human air. It's very light in the oxygen levels, and there are some caustic materials, but nothing that is too harmful."
Okay, but I am not human. If I run flat out, am I diminished or okay?
Prolonged exposure would slightly diminish you, yes.
Jumba.
If I
My
put on
word.
a spacesuit, does it count as armor?
Yes, because it's going to hinder your movements.
Is there a portable oxygen mask?
Yeah, you can find there's a portable little air tank thing. Little hose with a O2 mask.
I'll grab one of those and proceed.
Okay. So, Cell, you see the same thing as I described for Amic. Being slightly higher up, you can see that these pillars that are crumbled, some of them are still standing, go further and further and further, and they seem to go on for quite a while. But this valley doesn't quite look manufactured or carved, but it seems almost unnaturally smooth through here. And almost like this was all created for whatever is down this direction. And if you turn around and look behind you, you see a couple more of these pillars, and then the valley opens up into kind of like a wasteland. You can see some dunes, and you can see some more rock formations and things further out as you go.
I'll escape those. What do you think? Follow the obelisks?
Well, it seems the only way to go.
Follow
After
up.
you, of course.
Cell, get it out here.
Give me but a moment. The surface is a bit harsh upon my skin. Hold
You know
out
we
a
don't have a
small...
paper or anything.
You hear him
I'm right above
just
you.
scoff at you as he's wearing like a full suit of like combat suit. He's just fine.
Completely
Forgive
sealed,
me,
air conditioning. He's got tunes on in the background.
I forgot my moisturizer on board.
Bless you.
I'm right up here, Emmett. You don't have to yell at me.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
She's up on top of the ship, kind of hanging over, looking down.
Well,
What?
jump down. Let's go.
Simon's following me.
Well, he can fly you down. Let's go.
And do exactly as Simon says. Simon, come here.
All right, so you all get out of the ship. Valwa hits the clicker, locks it up, boop, boop, and you start heading down this plateau. How do you plan on getting off of this plateau down to the base of the valley?
Is there a trail that leads down or anything like that?
You could find some. There's not an actual dedicated trail, but there's like some outcroppings of rocks that you could probably climb down.
Can I
Does
like is
Go
there
ahead.
like a solid boulder or something on near the edge I could tie a rope off to and just kind of go on down?
You could find. I don't think there is a small enough boulder that you could actually wrap the rope around and still get down, but you could find a way to wedge something in a crack so that way you can get a little bit more rope. Like make
That's
a
a
makeshift
solid-
anchor.
Does it look as though there are any sort of cave openings along the side of this plateau wall, or like kind of like a sheer cliff face?
It's not quite sheer cliff, but it's a very steep angle. And there is nothing carved into the wall. It's just continuous valley wall. This is just like a small outcropping. It's almost
How far down is it?
I would say it's about. See, the pillars are actually higher than the plateau you guys are at. So I'd say it's about 20 feet.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. So
I-
so I can describe it a little bit
Amic
better.
takes his chances with going down the side of the cliff.
Okay. So the valley has two sides, and then they kind of come into two plateaus, and then there's an opening in between.
I think it was much grander in my head.
Well, the plateau isn't It's more of just a choke point into
No,
this
no, it's fine.
valley.
I'm happier with this because, like, in my head, it was like, you remember, I'm from Arizona, dude. When I think camp, it's a grand one.
It's grand. Well, the rest of the valley is. The rest of the valley
Right.
is like another 40 or 60 feet up from the plateau. So the valley in total
so
is
this
like
we
any.
just have to go down the hill.
Just go down the hill, yeah.
All right.
But it's if you want to do it without sliding 20 feet or 25 feet, wherever, then you could chunk down some rocks. I'm sure there's.
That's
something over
Amix. Yeah, Amic just makes for the way he could just like jump down.
there. Okay. Yeah, so that's easy enough to find. You find a nice little safe little path. Let's get some dexterity checks, please. Acrobatics, if you have it.
Athletics.
From all of us?
Describe to me how you're using athletics to get down.
You said jumping back and forth. That sounds like something that's a pretty athletic feat to me.
All right. I'll go with that.
I'm using acrobatics.
I think you could literally jump off the side and not take any
damage. Yeah. You have slow fall at level 4, so.
So, Volwa, how comfortable are you with a ledge of this height?
I have a rope. I took the rope down. You can use the rope too, Snake Man.
Yes, I remember following your lead along the last cliff face, and it did not go so well as far as I can recall.
Oh, this
I would rather follow a different one's path this time.
Hey, if you just jump, I can catch you.
Boa scoots by 20
I'm gonna like a snake man, like, you could just jump. I have a rope. Oh, I think you're muted, Lucas.
Lucas, you're muted.
Damn it.
I was like, he's talking. There's so much happening right now.
Yeah, so that's fine. You, instead of doing the large leaps and kind of grabbing rocks like Amic is doing, you're more doing careful foot movements, smaller steps, more delicate steps, but you just pitter-patter down just fine.
Do you need dexterity checks from everyone or just from him?
It depends on how you're getting down.
I'm just using the rope. I got it wedged between the rock and I'm climbing down like a mountain man.
Give me a acrobatics or dex with advantage for the rope. Okay, easy enough. Yep, you anchor the rope and just slide down, nice and easy.
We'll look up, say Snake Man, I have rope, no problem, no problem. Come on, Simon.
Simon, do not do as she says. Do not listen to her words. She will
As it
try to
follows
deceive
her.
you.
As
Simon, you traitor! There's clearly a virus in your programming, and as Scathos kind of reaches down and fiddles with almost the equivalent of mag boots along his tail front thing.
Okay.
And effectively activates this, which could be useful going through some mountainous terrain.
Yeah, so what you do is you lay out, in your case, you lay out a sheet of some kind of like almost like carbon fiber, and you kind of roll it out, and you wear it like an apron, and it exudes a gravitational field off the bottom of this fabric. So you can actually, with your snake form, it'll move with your tail movements, so it's not like it's sliding off. And so you essentially just stick to the side of the wall, and as you're moving, you move down with no trouble.
Stopping it sells rope the entire way down.
I like it. So you make it to the bottom of the valley. You're looking ahead. You see these grand ruins of pillars. The pillars are like 20 feet across, maybe not 20 feet across, they're like 15 foot across in both directions, and anywhere from 30 to 60 feet tall. They're about as tall, they're slightly lower than the rest of the valley, but they are the tallest structures that you can currently see.
Amick will take point and lead the way inside.
Okay. So you guys are going through, walking, looking around, having to climb over some sections of rubble, crawl under others, walk around if the entire section has been broken by two. It's just too hard to climb. And what you actually see is when you get closer to the end, you see a cliff face on this end. It's almost like it's a bowl, this valley. And really that's you're about maybe, I don't know, say 100 feet from this, maybe 200 feet from this cliff face. You don't see anything past that.
As we're walking through this temple-y like structure, can I be looking around for anything abnormal, writings on the wall, extra shiny rocks, anything like that?
Certainly. Give me an investigation.
Scanthos would like to be kind of surveying these pillars and structures, seeing if there's any sort of like ancient writing or the like on them as they're going through.
Give me a history check.
Got it.
Cell, you see that there are hieroglyphs on the pillars, the obelisks, and looking around, there's no other buildings or structures. It seems like this is might be a grand entryway or like a courtyard to something bigger. So there's not a whole lot here.
And keep an eye out for traps and other life forms trying to ambush them.
Give me a perception and an investigation, Amick.
This place
I
is
would always
really
assist with that.
So you're assisting Amick?
Yeah, I would assist with the perception. Looking for anybody that's around.
Okay, so you two are on guard. So Amick, make your perception with advantage.
Nice.
Okay.
Or
it is
doing more looking around than looking for traps.
It's dead quiet. Dead quiet. The only thing you hear is the little fingers of a Jawa that's trying to dig through a little bit of rubble to find something shiny, something nice.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is I want to find a shiny rock to take with me.
It's all dull, dirty, sandy stone. There's nothing.
This is a stupid place. There's no treasure here. This place is stupid.
So I got a 15 on my perception at least. So.
Yep.
At least that one was good.
Yeah. Scathos, you recognize the script as a version of the script that you read on that scroll.
Right.
And I will be right back. Just give me a minute.
There's no treasure here. There's just words and dirt. This is just ridiculous. Why did we come here? Nothing shiny. I'm going to call Simon over and use him as my new stepping stool since I left the health droid back on the ship. Simon, come here. I need to use you. No,
Simon, you stay at least 5 feet away from Cell at all times. Do you hear me?
Amick will go over to Cell. What do you need?
I want to reach that rock up there. It looks shiny.
Picks her up and puts her up by the rock.
Well, it's not shiny. It was just a glare. This is stupid.
Gathos slithers up the side of the wall 10 feet further to be like, oh, there's a very, very shiny rock up here.
What?
Here, take her.
I'm I apologize deeply, Sal, but my arms are not what Amex are. I'm afraid I cannot pick you up. But it is a beautiful rock, I assure you.
Have you ever seen Despicable Me? Because that's who you remind me of. Oh, the Gru character, the bald head guy. You need to watch it because your voice reminds me of him, and right now you're acting like him too. Like, oh, I would, but no, I'm not gonna help you. You're
Works
giving
for
that
me.
shiny rock snake, man. You did it for me. I keep it real shiny and safe.
Perhaps we can get it on our way out of this canyon. For now, perhaps your attention should be focused upon finding what we are searching for, and as a reward, you can have this very shiny pebble.
But that pebble could be down there treasure here. You see, there's just dirt and writings on the wall. There's nothing else here.
I'll tell you what, we will keep it here for safekeeping. It has lasted here this long. Perhaps it will remain until we leave.
Snake man, why you do this to me?
Because of what you got Simon into the last time I left you two alone. Blaster fire,
He was the
not
loud
his
one.
strong suit.
He was the one who made the noise. I didn't make any noise. He
He
pushed me.
wasn't there.
He pushed me off the balcony. It was his
Well, you
fault.
must have deserved it.
Simon.
Perhaps you will stop using him as a step stool.
Is there like, so the pillars lead up to just like the cliff face? Is that what you said?
You muted
Yes.
yourself. Oh, okay, never mind. Never mind.
Yes. So the pillars lead to a cliff face.
Amic's gonna walk up to that cliff face,
Okay.
and he's gonna touch it.
All right. You touch it, and your gloved hand feels stone. Unmoving.
Okay. Or is there anything like on the cliff face itself?
Roll me another investigation.
I'm
Did you
picturing.
find more shiny pebbles over there, tall man? I'm gonna run over there and look at what he's touching.
Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. The entrance.
You're
Is that right?
looking for like a giant with pillars and a door and a.
Yeah.
No, you don't see that. What you see is, unlike the rest of the valley walls, this is a perfectly smooth vertical wall.
I want to run over and see the wall that he's touching.
Mhm.
What did you find over here? And I want to like really examine the wall, mostly where his hand is, because I want to see if he's trying to get something and not tell me about it. And
Alright.
so like
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
look around the wall. Like, why'd you come over here? What's over here?
He looks down at you and he says, "This wall is smooth. The rest of this place ain't smooth. Figure out how to open it."
So, Cell, give me an investigation.
19.
Very good. All right. So, looking where his hand is, and you're kind of tracing around, you don't see anything that he's looking at, but being smaller, your eye line is lower, and you start to look down, and you notice that there's a seam between the valley floor and this particular cliff face.
I'm gonna instantly start like poking at it and digging at it and seeing if I can figure out what it is.
As you
Like
start
a dog that found a rat in a hole or something.
As you start moving the sand and debris out of the way, you actually notice that when you go to stir the sand, that it billows out more than what you were actually moving it.
I found something. There's something here. Does I don't know what it is. I'm gonna keep digging at it, like kind of going along the wall back and forth, trying to figure out if there's more to the seam. So
Yeah. So as you're
going-
kind of tracing this along, you notice that there is a seam continuously across this.
It goes from here all the way to here.
Can I
You-
lift it?
You can try. Yeah, try.
Amick tries like sticking his fingers underneath and lifting or trying to move it or shift it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to help him, even though I'm weaker than crap. Like, just barely touch it with my fingers.
All right, I want you to roll me an athletics check, Cell, to see if you assist with your small
If
little
I can
arms.
get advantage.
If you can get it. Okay, Amick, roll that with advantage because her little finger is somehow 23.
There we go.
All right, so Amick, you slide your fingers under, and
No, move that one a little bit. I can't get my hand underneath it. Come on, get more sand down.
Yep.
There we go.
there you go. So you get a good grip, and as you slide your hand under to get to about the palm of your hand, right? So your thumbs are on the outside, as much handhold as you can. As you're sliding your gauntlets in, you hear the scraping of metal
Oh,
on the
the sound.
back sides of your hand. And you go to lift, and it doesn't lift, but there's metal underneath this wall.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, tall man? There's the sound. There's a sound.
Am I supposed to dig deeper? Amick starts like shoveling out like massive like pawfuls of dirt.
You start moving more dirt, and about 3 to 4 inches down, it's rock. There's like anywhere from like 3 to 6 inches of sand accumulating up against this wall, and it's almost kind of pushed up against this wall in some places, like sand being blown against a rock face.
Stickman, is there another one of these on the top side?
Well, I'm going to have to leave your precious stone behind, but I can go check it out.
I'm gonna
Scathos is
give him like
gonna
this heartbroken look. Like, how dare you?
Scathos is gonna slither his way away from this point along the cliffside where he made up to saying to Sal that there was a fancy rock just out of her reach, and he's gonna slither up the side of this face to see if there's any sort of a seam up 30, 40 feet.
On
and we're
the
looking
top
for
of
anything
this.
towards the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're climbing up, it's smooth. You there's nothing hiding a seam that you can tell. As you crest the top, you get a further look down this valley, and it seems like this structure just continues down this valley. It's the same height for as far as you can see. But as you start moving a little bit further down this structure, just to try to get a grasp of it, you notice that on the top, maybe 15 feet, 20 feet from the edge, there's another seam. And it's a smooth seam. It's not like it's a fractured seam. It's manufactured.
So shouting back down the cliffside, yes, there seems to be another seam up here.
Well,
Perhaps
that's there too.
it is some sort of door, like a hangar bay or something.
How do we open it?
Can I look around for like a lever, or now that I know it's a door, maybe like a contraption that would
Like an
Go
access
along.
panel?
exactly.
In access, yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah. Give me another investigation for this. Is anyone assisting, looking for in a panel?
Yeah, Amick will assist.
I don't know if it would be assisting, but Scathos is going to be doing the same thing up top, looking
Well,
for
your
Amick will
robot can
her
assist.
down bottom, since she's not at eye level.
Your robot is still following Cell.
So if the robot can assist, he will absolutely do so.
I roll another one.
yeah, roll another one.
We're gonna stick
God,
with the 20.
ooh, that investigation. So you don't see a panel, but you kind of go to the right. So you guys kind of walked into the center of this valley. So you go to the right about 10, 15 feet, and you see that there is a glyph inscribed very faintly, almost too hard to see. But you see a small glyph scrolled into the wall.
This stuff, I'm gonna like trace it with my fingers or put my hand on it, or both. This thing here, this is it. This is it. I know it. This is it. I'm
Okay.
gonna push on it really hard, since nothing happened if I trace my fingers on it.
Nothing happens.
I'm gonna grab a handful of dirt and throw it at it.
Nothing
Oh my
happens.
god.
That's not it.
I'll do a history check.
Vol will do a history check. Give me a history check.
While he's doing that, looking through the goggles to see what my droid sees,
Yes,
would Scathos recognize this as the Sith language?
he would.
Scathos,
for me.
where are you?
What did you get,
It's up top.
Paula?
18.
18? Yeah, you've had some experience from your previous trainers of seeing these types of, well, not these types, but the particular aggressive carving. And by aggressive, I don't mean that it's chiseled out like it's a barbaric way, but the text that is shown in a very aggressive slashing type text.
Like warning, attack dogs in the backyard.
It looks like
No, you don't specifically know the text, what it reads, but you know of this text. You have seen it before. This is the Sith text.
There are sharp lines and jagged edges to it.
Yeah.
I've heard all these words and languages.
Gathos.
I'll continue looking for a lever or device or contraption, anything,
Okay.
loose rock.
Do you find anything down there?
There's a
Yeah,
stupid
but I
thing
can't
on the
read
wall.
it.
There's a
Very well, I'm on my way. And he'll start slithering his way down the cliff face
Okay.
to see what this thing says.
It's no use. I've tried everything.
So you get to this. Go ahead.
Make shove cell.
So Scathos, you slither down and you take a closer look, and yes, this is definitely Sith text. And you see that it says,
Speak, friend, and enter.
not quite. It says that the power to open the door is in your blood.
Does he say this out loud?
Scathos is going to kind of look deep into his mind for a moment. And he's going to try and, in the same Sith language, command this, what he assumes is a door, to open by the Sith spell that he read and learned about previously.
So you put your hand on there and you kind of focus, and you kind of mutter a few words, "Skasahikashon," and the glyph glows purple, and the whole structure starts to rise.
It's a simple technological puzzle. One must simply just place their palm here in a proper sequence.
I'm glad you went first because I was about to cut my hand.
He didn't tell anybody about the blood.
Falwa, you must be more careful with yourself. Your life is not of your own to value. You owe me a great debt, after all. Be careful who spills your blood. It is of value to me.
Your blood belongs to me.
So you'll jump in front. That's great. +2 to AC.
So you're so this giant I would describe it as like a red marble almost, or like a red onyx sandstone structure. I don't know. I'm not great with rocks. Sandstone. I like sandstone. Red sandstone. It shifts up, and it shifts up, and it shifts up about 10 feet. So this wall is now protruding about 10 foot up, and you actually see a set of staircases going down.
How come you couldn't do that, tall man? Snake Man did it, no problem. I'm gonna walk in.
As I said, Cell, my arms are just not the same as Amix. We don't have the same capabilities.
Well, I thought he was stronger than you, but turns out you speak the words and the doors listen. Simon really does listen to you, huh?
Amix like takes his heavy repeater and like puts it in Scathos' hands, and he just kind of like lets the full weight of it fall. And he says, "Well, there you go. Finish your job. You heard her."
Point taken. Point taken.
Okay.
But was
I'll take that back. I'm sorry.
so I do recall carrying a greater number of the bodies back for payment.
I totally
I'm
thought the
just
dirt
fucking
would work.
with you, Scathos. Good job.
I totally thought
You
the
was
dirt
right.
against the symbol would work.
So so I assume you were all walking in down the stairs.
Oh yeah, I'm like halfway down.
Amix going.
Amic first. Okay. Who's second?
Sal was
Scathos
like,
is going to be right up, as close to Amic as he can, since he knows the language, and he's going to be looking out for more of these kinds of rune kind of things.
Actually,
Sel probably would have snuck before all of them, and she's looking for. She's kind of being a little more cautious, but definitely ahead of the group, looking for traps and
I
stuff
was
along
going
the
to
way.
say, Amic would actually say, you know what, on second thought, Cell. You
Okay.
And then you turn around, and Sel's already gone.
All right, and then
shit, where
Val
did
was
she go?
bringing up the rear. Cool. I'll move you guys out to the side there. All right, Cell, give me an investigation and a perception,
Oh,
please.
see my token. I can see part of it. It's right there, guys. Ah.
Geisha.
Can you not see the map?
17.
No,
Nope.
it's totally black.
No,
Oh.
we can see like this part of it.
Oh, see,
and
I've
that's
been
it.
trying to describe this whole thing for you. Watch this. How about now?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that makes a lot more sense now.
Sorry. That was, I had a previous map on there that was actually supposed to be hidden, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to change it to a picture and do Theater of the Mind. So this is the red sand that you're seeing. You don't see the structure in the background. But this is the kind of layout. It's very red. It's very
Isn't the
rocky.
structure in the background just opened?
No, that is not the structure that just opened.
Oh,
But
I'm
this
way
is
more
this
scared.
is the kind of the feel of the planet. It's very
Atmosphere,
red.
yeah.
It's very hot, deserty.
Feels great.
it's like
feels great.
Tucson, but red.
It's like
Like
Tucson.
Sedona.
All right. So you don't see any particular traps of note, and looking around, it's exceptionally dark in here. There are no electronic lights. There are no wires running anywhere. And
As I get a little further in, I'm gonna start to realize that it's really dark and kind of creepy in here, and I'm gonna roll a stealth check to try and be a little more quiet as I go too.
go for it.
25.
Nice. Very nice.
Amic can't see in the dark, so he's gonna turn on his lights,
Okay.
and by that
Well-
I mean light a torch.
And since we're a
Like a
little ways
sunrod,
back
whatever.
from Cell, and Scath also wants to make sure he doesn't miss anything, Simon, if you wouldn't mind providing a little bit of light for us, so to get a couple of, like flashlights searching around as
Yeah.
well.
So the four arms on Simon kind of turn out into spotlights, kind of looking around. So you have more than enough light to light your immediate area. So you're walking through and you see large slab tiles lining this hallway. very smoothly carved, but again, it's very aggressive. So, like the image, very angular, with steps in every so often, and then steps in for like bulkheads. And so you come in, and there's a like a turn to the left, and you're kind of walking down this long hallway. Cell is going ahead. She doesn't see any traps. Motions everyone to keep following. You make it to the end of this long hallway, and then you turn right, and there's another long hallway. But with the light that you have, you can see that every 20 or so feet, there's sets of doorways.
This is fun. I want to listen to see if I hear anything behind the first door.
So when you get up to it, it's just an open doorway. There's no doors.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More archways, doorways.
Can I poke my head around the corner then, see if I see
Certainly.
anything inside?
Yep. Can you see in the dark?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. You look into this first room. You see a stone slab with some very old, tattered, almost completely gone, like there's like remnants of what might be a blanket and a pillow. And then on the other side of this stone slab is another slab protruding that might be a desk.
I'm going to run up to the desk.
Okay.
Clear clutter on my feet. And I want to see if there's anything particularly shiny or paper.
Okay. Just with your passive investigation, looking around, there's no paper. Judging by the cloth that was on the stone slab bed that you would assume, that paper wouldn't have lasted. So there's no paper. There's no utensils. You do see like a broken vase that might have been holding water. There's like a clay bowl on the side. It's a very rudimentary room.
Can I
Nothing
look
in
for
there.
like a secret drawer in the desk?
Sure. Give me an investigation.
Scathos, what are we
21.
looking for here again?
Some sort of a Sith artifact left behind.
What does it look like?
I'm afraid I have no idea.
I can hear this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right behind him.
Okay, this is not going to be in a desk.
Yeah, so Cell is slightly ahead of you guys. If you guys want to catch up to her, then you can. Cell, you're kind of given the once-over on the desk, and this is truly a stone slab. There is nothing fancy about this.
I want to take a little chip off the vase, that broken vase. I want to take like a little sliver of it and then leave that
Okay.
room and walk into the next room.
All right, next room, you see the same thing. It's just another barren, looks like a cot.
Okay, I'm going to kind of like beeline it down the hallway, like looking in each room, and as soon as I see a room that's slightly different, I'm gonna go in it.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So you make it like two more archways, all the same room. These look like a barracks or a sleeping house of some sort. It's almost like a refugee, not a refugee, but like a waypoint. Come in out of maybe some sandstorms that are happening outside. You come in and have a place to rest. You make it a little bit further down the hallway, and it goes straight and takes another left.
I am going to continue looking for traps along the way, like like strings or something like that.
Okay.
But you said there's a what to the left?
The hallway ends and then takes a left.
Okay, I'm going to look down the hallway and make sure everyone's still kind of following at least a little bit, and then I'm going to go down that hallway.
Yeah, we don't let her get it too far out of sight.
Just enough to where if something triggers, then you don't all die. I like it. Okay, So you turn
Yeah.
left down this hallway, and again, it's the same thing. It's that same angular construction all the way down this hallway, um, and there's less openings. There's like one opening on this long hallway, and
Uh,
then you go down, and then it takes a right another like 60 feet down this hallway.
as I'm walking down the second hallway, I kind of want to keep one hand on the opposite wall of the openings, kind of feel along it, see if I can feel any weird creases or maybe like a secret doorway or anything kind of along that wall as I'm looking in the other doors
Okay.
as I'm walking along.
Okay. Uh, I'm going to carry your investigation from the last one. You're going through, and on this particular wall, nothing. Just it's smooth, 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 and then it has a bump out, and then it goes back to smooth, smooth, smooth. You look to.
Bo asked, "You want me?"
What's that?
Bo asked the other two, "Do you want me to go ahead? I can see a night."
It is not seeing that concerns me. It's what we might see.
That's
agree
what
with that.
concerns me.
I can see in the dark as well as you, but
God,
I am
right.
not so concerned with the light situation.
Okay.
After
I'll
all,
see
this location was within one of the log entries of a Sith master, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
One could presume we are either looking for some sort of item of very great significance in here, or perhaps we are chasing after the footsteps of those who have already retrieved it. And Scathos would like to kind of search the ground to see if there are any other recent tracks. Like, assuming there's like dirt and dust built up on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, are ours the only ones that he can see? Or perhaps like this is an old log entry from the Siths and like it already came here, got everything.
Right. Yeah, it's the only dust is being disturbed by you guys.
All right.
So no additional footsteps. Cell gets to the next room, and this particular room seems like it might be like a kitchen. It seems like there is some burnt stone that has holes on top where they would put in some kind of cooking device on top. It's strange that most places you've been to in the galaxy has technology and it's more civilized, and this is very primitive for a culture that is deemed as being
Very Jawa-esque.
It's very Jawa-esque. Yeah, you feel very comfortable in this primitive nature, but the lack of technology is really off-putting.
Can I look inside the stove thing that's there?
Mm-hmm.
I want to dig around there.
Ooh. What you find is you just find some like charred wood.
I'm going to take a piece of charred wood. And
Okay.
look around, see like if there's cupboards. I kind of want to rummage through them.
Okay.
Just kind of do a once over the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah. You look around, look in the cupboards, and this seems like it matches the vases and the pottery that you saw in the other rooms. So it seems like people would take their food and go eat in their chambers. You look around, and there seems to be almost like a stone, like a lay down freezer. It's got a stone door, and you open it up, and it feels noticeably cooler in there. And give me an investigation check.
29.
You see in there that there is a body of a humanoid folded in half.
Oh, this is different. This isn't food. Why are you in? This isn't food. No food. I'm gonna grab that piece of charred wood that I took and poke the body with it.
You poke it, and it's noticeably firm.
Oh, Sniff Man, Tall Man, Dog Man, Simon. Hello?
It takes us a minute, but we get there.
Yeah.
And you walk into me poking this dead body over and over again with this charred piece of wood. There's a man in the cold box, and it's firm, and it's folded in half, and it's not folded. It's not supposed to be here.
Is there any discernible things about this body?
Yeah, so now that you have your light in there, you can actually see the color of the skin is very reminiscent of the color of that Sith Master that you killed. Deep crimson red. And it seems to be wearing a blackish, like a dark gray tunic, and dark gray, like almost like capri pants. They bunch up at the knee.
Can I unfold him?
What's that?
I unfold him.
So you pull the body out and unfold it.
Yeah.
You pull the body out and you see that once you get it out on the ground, that there is a noticeable scorch mark directly in the center of the chest. That is more scorched on the chest than it is on the back. And it looks like this person was run through with some sort of energy weapon.
Well, Emick, does he have anything that the trader might find valuable?
Search his pockets.
He's not going to get his new armor dirty.
Okay.
No, she's just way better at
But
it.
then I'm gonna dig
Yeah,
through his
I
pockets.
Okay. One more investigation, please.
Like, she could roll a 2 would be better than my, like...
13.
She rolled a 2. No, she rolled a 3. So you look and there's actually a little piece of paper that is tucked into the waistband of his pants that the tunic is covering.
I found something. I'm gonna like rip it out and open it up and look at it. Found the treasure, guys. I found it. It's here.
You go to read the writing, and it's in that same script as the entry passage was.
Nice
the same angular script. This one is written in like a blood red ink.
Nice, man. It's in Simon's language.
All right, Sal, and what does it say?
Simon knows I don't.
Very well, hand it over. And
That's
be
not-
careful
Yes,
with it.
while we're not curious about the way the guy was killed and the last way we dispatched our
Is he?
totally is.
Okay.
He's like, it looks familiar.
Yeah, it's probably the same laser sword that I've got right here.
And where did we get this map?
From the Sith Master.
You got the coordinates to this location from a Sith Master that you killed.
Are we getting made as a person that did this?
It is entirely possible, Volva. Which is why we must find anything that we can take of value and then flee with our lives. Before we fall for any of this trap nonsense. Speak up.
I'm feeling very
Sounds
rushed.
like it's the first person I've killed.
I have a question that I don't know about Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
Do Sith Lords, do they become Sith Lords by, like, killing other Sith Lords? Or, like, how does that happen? Like, could this guy have been murdered by, like, his underdog? Like, we killed that other Sith guy, so the other guy could become a Sith Lord? So could this be, like,
That's
another...
totally how we promoted that other dude.
Yes. So it's two ways. There's in this timeline there are many Sith Lords. It's not just two. So in this timeline, killing another Sith Lord is frowned upon because it lessens their numbers to fight the Jedi. So the main means of advancement is through tutelage. You learn to be a master. You get chosen because of your abilities to become a master,
Okay. But
or
that
if you have the right
is
connections.
a way. It's also a way that they do it, though, just frowned upon.
It is frowned
Well,
upon.
Okay.
Skathos, what's the
Yeah.
note say?
Skatho picks up the note and it says, it's almost like a kind of like a journal entry. It's got some scrawlings of not necessarily text, but of runes on the ledger portions, the margins, and in the center it says. Um, uh, the tomb of Tulak Horde is located somewhere here.
I'll let them know. It seems to indicate that the tomb of Tulak Horde is somewhere nearby. If this was on him when he died, perhaps this is why he was here, what he was searching for.
Never heard of it.
What I've heard of it,
Can I
No,
roll
you
a history
would not have
check,
heard of
like on the name Tulak Horde?
Yeah, roll a history, please.
18.
18. Not a whole lot of information is known about Tulak Horde. Specifics, I should say. But you do know that he is touted as one of the strongest of the ancient Sith Masters. And his power has not been measured.
I think we are in the right place.
Either my
Continue
intuition
forward?
is right. Well, either my intuition is right, we're innocent, or we are on the path. I say 50-50.
It is very tempting bait, is it not? An artifact of incredible power, no doubt.
Does anybody not recognize this guy that we dispatched?
No.
he is definitely a very dead guy. I've never seen him before. I didn't do it either.
Is there a way to figure out how long he's been dead?
Yeah, let's get a
temperature,
group
liver.
medicine check.
Dun, dun, dun.
24.
Yes, Kathos.
Whew.
14. What's that?
I mean, Amic poses questions. He
Same
doesn't
here.
give you answers.
Okay. All right. So Skathos looks and kind of judging at the flesh wound and trying to find decay in the body. It seems as if this body hasn't aged, but it's clearly been dead far too long. Like years, maybe.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's
We're
like
good.
a refrigerator in here. It makes
Yeah.
sense. But, like, don't you have a gadget or something that can tell you how long it's been dead?
Well, excuse me, I left my carbon dating equipment aboard the ship. I didn't expect us to be going on an archaeological dig.
You have little machines that do everything for you. For all I know, you had something.
As
He
your
likes the
little
body
machine do things for you, pointing out at his pistols and blasters.
Yeah, but at least you know what these do.
And I know what mine do.
I don't know what yours do.
And I have no problem with
That's what you tell
Then
him
don't
to
get
do.
annoyed with me when I ask.
Oh, never annoyed, friend. More than happy to share.
Great. Now, which way do we go?
Oh, we got this way. Follow me.
You are drunk. And when you are drunk, you forget that he is in charge.
I'm not drunk.
Drunk with power. Okay. So you come out of the room, you take a left, and then you take a right down this next hallway. And as you're moving down this hallway, you guys actually have moved about 200 or so feet already. Feels like you're getting deeper and deeper into the side of the valley. But as you...
I am continuing to look for traps and such.
Okay.
Just throwing it out there.
Give me another perception and investigation.
12 and 20.
Again, still eerily quiet. No additional footsteps in the dust. But it seems like this is almost a maze. And you're going down this next hallway. Again, there's not a whole lot of rooms in here. It just seems like at this point it's a tunnel to get out of wherever you are. And you just follow it again and again and again. And after about 45 minutes, you see this particular tunnel starts to go from that carved, manufactured to rough stone, and where it's almost been blasted out. So it's not machined or carved stone anymore. It starts to turn more into like a cave system.
Well, I'd say we're getting closer to something. Definitely something. Yes. I'm going to continue into the cave part.
We appreciate your specifics, sir.
That's what I'm here for. Bless you.
Okay. So you continue through this kind of narrowing passage through the stone, and you start to actually feel a breeze come through. And it's not like it's a hot breeze like you had on the surface. It's almost like a cool breeze coming through. And as you slowly start to creep forward, once you start to feel it...
Yeah, I want to be stealthier now.
Yeah. Yeah, I assumed you're doing that the whole time.
Okay. Extra stealthy.
Yeah, extra stealthy. So you feel the breeze, and as you're walking through, it splits off into a Y formation. So there's a left path and a right path.
Listening, can I hear anything from either direction? And is the breeze coming from a specific direction?
Give me a perception for that.
19.
You don't hear anything, but the breeze is coming from the left passage.
I want to go to the right.
Okay. Does the rest of the group catch up? Or you guys are staying relatively close?
Trying to keep her within our line of sight, close.
Okay.
Still keeping a distance.
All right. So you see that she goes down the right passage.
We'll follow.
And so as you get to the intersection, I need Skathos and Volwa to make me a wisdom check, please. Straight wisdom.
Natural 1. I know everything.
Oh no, we got rid of those.
You know, I once heard that the Sith did not develop the technology for door handles, which is why many of these doorways remain open.
Very well. Okay, good to know. So you continue down the... What, you got an 8?
8.
Okay, good.
What? I don't get to roll? The fuck?
Are you force sensitive?
I'm the one with the lightsaber.
That doesn't make you force sensitive.
I mean, I can cast prestidigitation. I'm an arcane archer.
Okay. You know what? Give me we can go there. Give me a wisdom check, please.
Okay. Suck it,
20.
bitches.
Of all people.
This is why I'm following you.
Hey,
Actually,
hey,
this-
it's
this-
not something that he knows about himself. It's just something that happens to be true.
That's fair enough. So as you go to step to the right passage, you feel a presence about your person, something that you kind of had touches with before. Maybe a particular fierce battle where your vision seems to just track, even though you're not fully aware of it. And it's tracking targets and shooting precise shots. Shots that most soldiers can't make, even trained mercenaries like the Mandalorians can't make that many shots that accurately. And this particular feeling is kind of, it's not hostile, but it's also not necessarily a warm feeling. It's just a presence that taps into your mind, and it almost feels like something is calling out to you, and it's coming from the left passage.
Hey,
Good.
so
All right. Just,
come back,
just
come back this way. It's to the left.
I don't know about that, but okay, whatever you say, we'll try the left passage. We'll see.
Just
I'll
trust me.
scamper back and run down the left passage.
Okay. So you're running down the left passage. Are you actually running?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not running.
Make me a dexterity save, please.
Oh, fuck. Now would be the time, huh? A 13.
Okay. You're running, and your foot catches an up ledge. There's something jutting out from the floor, and you trip over it.
Fall smack on my face. There's
Yep.
here. There's something here. Watch your step. I get up and brush my apron off. There's something here. I'm gonna look down and see what I tripped over.
What you see in this small cavern is actually something that looks very similar to what Amic has worn in the past. It seems manufactured. It seems purpose-built. It seems almost like something a Mandalorian would use.
I want to pick it up and hold it up, like, so everyone else can see it and kind of get a better look at it. This is what it was. Watch your step. I tripped on this.
What is she holding up?
She is holding up. You would know this, Amic, as this is a Mandalorian combat knife that was stuck in the ground.
Very sharp.
Let me see that. You like takes it from her.
Don't trip on it. Here you go.
Make me a history check, Amic.
Oh wow, I'm rolling like I'm on fire.
It's Mandalorian, you know this.
What you see is written on the blade, carved in very non-ceremoniously, is the word, a name actually, and it says Ordo on it.
Oh, that's my name. That's weird.
Dun dun dun.
Have
Dun,
to
dun,
be here before, Amy.
Oh, he died here.
This ain't mine, but it belongs to somebody who knew.
Is your extended family a very large one?
Yeah, pretty big one.
I want to insight check Amick, see if he's actually been here before.
Go for it.
18.
I never been here before.
I believe you.
You know of Amick, you only know of one particular Mandalorian that was indebted to a Sith practitioner, and that was Candaris Ordo.
How long ago was that?
2 days.
Judging by the blade, you're looking 20 years, maybe.
Judging by the rust on this blade, it's been here a long time.
Okay, well, just make sure you don't trip on it, and I'm gonna turn around and keep walking.
He'll use prestidigitation on the blade and clean it, and then he'll just sheath it.
Okay. Yeah, so you clean off all the surface rust and the dust that's been collecting on it, and you sheath it. And surprisingly enough, with the with your Mandalorian sharpening kit, or however you want to figure this, your cleaning utensil of choice, it's actually not that rusted. It's actually surprisingly well maintained for being here as long as that surface rust was on there. It's almost like it wasn't touched at all.
Much like that body we found.
Well, it's a good blade either way. And it's got my name on it, I guess.
So you
But if
continue.
it has your name on it, or I would have kept it.
My name Dibs.
Like, I'll start putting my
Yeah,
name on it.
basically. Like, if it didn't have his name, I was told you to keep it, but damn it, it has his name on it. I can't really say, oh, that's mine.
So do you continue down the path?
Oh yeah, I continue. I'm briskly walking, but I'm not running anymore. But I'm like, I'm going, watching my step a little bit more closely now that I fell and made a.
Okay. So as you're walking down this tunnel, it seems to be getting cooler and cooler and cooler. Very nice. And as you're walking out down this passageway, the floor starts to turn again into manufactured flooring. But this time it's not stone slabs, it's metal. And you start to see twisted metal as it starts to shift into pristine metal as it's walking down this hallway. And then you're starting to see Durasteel reinforcements instead of just stone structures that are starting to have, as you go further down this tunnel, have more light fixtures attached to them. And it's starting to become more into a manufactured area.
And I'm still feeling that breeze.
In the breeze, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna keep walking forward, looking for traps, listening for people, being quiet as I can, looking for swords on the ground.
Okay. Give me one more investigation and perception, please.
A 23 and an 8.
So you feel the breeze, and you actually start to hear a hum. It's not an aggressive hum. It's just kind of like almost like a presence. Like you kind of feel like a vibration.
Like an AC unit hum.
Kind of like an AC unit hum. It's nothing. It's not like, oh, there's like a big thing over there. No,
Yeah,
Just-
but that's just
It
like
feels
white
like
noise, kind of.
yeah, because all throughout these other tunnels, it's been dead quiet except for the sounds that you were making, and it's almost like coming out of like a deprivation. It's the first sounds that you're starting to hear is just a very
I'm gonna
low
look back,
hum.
and I'm gonna kind of put my fingers up, like, "Shh, there's noise up ahead. There's noise." And I'm gonna walk ever so
And-
stealth. It's okay.
Um,
It's just white
and
noise.
you don't see any traps. But what you do see with your investigation is that as you're walking and you're starting to get onto the metal tiles, you go to the end of the hallway, and it opens up into a very large cylinder. It's like an open cylinder. It's a chasm that has a walkway and a railing around it, but directly ahead of you is um, a strange platform that goes into a very large circle, and there's a keypad on the side.
Oh, this is new. I want to look at the keypad, see if maybe I can figure out the keypad password.
Roll me an Arcana.
Oh dear. Last time I broke it, so what's this? A 10.
You cannot figure out this keypad.
Hmm.
You do look at the letters, and the letters on the keypad match the Sith text.
It's the Simon words again. Why is it everywhere here?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's the same as my luggage.
Simon, it's your language again. Simon, come type in the code. Snackman, Simon needed.
It looks like she's once again stuck.
I mean, real quick before I call him over there, this keypad, there's a door attached to it, and the door is closed, right? It's not open, and I can just walk by.
The keypad is leading to this circular
thingy?
platform.
Oh, okay.
So there's a railing going up to this platform, to a straight platform, and then the platform leads to an no railings around this large circular platform.
I want to go and mess with the circular thing after I call Simon over to the keypad. Like, I'm no good here, but I can be good over there.
Okay. As you step on top of the circular platform, you start to feel that hum.
Oh, this is the noise. I found the noise. It's on here. I'm gonna like tap my foot on it a few times. Kind of just
Sounds
look
like
around
metal.
at it. Look back to Snake Man and Tall Man and Doug Man and just kind of shrug my shoulders. It's making a noise. Yep.
Any idea what to do with it, Sam?
Well, Simon is typing the code onto that thing over there, and then this thing will do something.
Scathos would like to go over and give a once over of the keypad.
Okay. Taking a closer look at the keypad, it seems almost like the Matrix screen, but you see those runes of the Sith runes kind of scrolling down this keypad. And it's not necessarily a keypad, it's more of a like a touch, like a data pad kind of thing.
All right. Could Scathos try to just kind of fiddle around with the programming on the data pad to figure out sort of what the function of this platform thing is? Like, is it an elevator, or is it like clearly a trap kind of a thing? Red herring?
Yeah, roll me an Arcana.
All right. 18.
18. No, it is It's not a trap. It's just, you know that this just raises whatever is on the other end of this platform.
All right. Well, Sel, did you say you found any other doors in this room, or is this our next venture?
I look around. Do I see any more doors?
You look around and it's there's just this circular cylinder with kind of almost seem like pulsating like energy tubes running vertically up and down. Very much like Phantom Menace, how they had those purple tubes of energy. Very similar to that. So there's just tubes of energy that are going around this large circular manufactured area, and there's just a railed walkway, catwalk that goes around.
No doors that I see.
All right. Everybody hop on, I suppose, just in case.
I'm coming. Come on, Simon.
Sure. Hop up there.
And give me a moment, I'll see what I can do to get this thing moving for us.
I'm gonna sit down cross-legged on the thing.
And could I try like an Arcana check to try and reprogram it real quick? Like, since we don't know the password that it's asking for, try to like hack it, I guess.
Yeah.
Arcana check?
Yep.
13.
This particular device, even though it is powered and it has a screen, doesn't seem like it has any cables going to anything.
So, I don't suppose you scrapped anything recently with wires or the like?
I'm sure she definitely has wires on her. What color do you want? I have a red wire and a yellow wire. Oh, this is a pretty blue wire. Do you want the blue one? No, take the blue one.
So, have you ever scrapped anything like this before? Perhaps your hands could give me some assistance over here.
Oh, yes, I'm very good with wires. I can help.
Well, if you can remember the order in which you took them out, perhaps you can remember now how to put them back in.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely do that.
While you're doing that, Skathos, can you give me a history check, please?
History check. Total of 20.
So you see these runes passing by the screen, and you kind of think back, I've seen those runes before. Where did I see those? It might be on that letter that you found on that body.
And kind of remembering this, I believe we might have found the entrance to the tomb of Tulakord.
So there's a dead person in this thing?
Among other things, most certainly. Presumably, of course.
There's too many dead bodies here, not enough shiny rocks.
Well, perhaps if you can get this thing working, if you can get this platform to move, there will be much more shiny rocks to be found.
Okay. Give me the blue wire. Oh, wait, I still have it. Never mind. Here. I tried to hardwire this thing with Snake Man.
Okay. Skathos, give me another Arcana with advantage.
Right. 25.
Very nice. So you, with her fiddling with the wires and you inputting what you can out of the runes that you've seen, it goes from blue to green. And you hear a click, click, and a tsh. And you look to the left, and a wall depresses and slides open around the corner, or not around the corner, but around the walkway.
Well, I certainly didn't see that one coming.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
me
We must
neither.
have done something wrong. It didn't make the circle thing go up.
Still, don't touch anything just yet. Just give us the moment.
Amic's gonna go poke his head in and take a look inside.
What you see is another tunnel, but this particular tunnel is manufactured similarly to the first one that you entered when you came into this system. So it's carved stone instead of like a cavernous. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here.
No, you're good. Just letting you know.
Amic will go down the hallway.
Okay.
Simon's gonna follow overhead to give him some light.
Additional light. Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing while he's going down that hallway?
I'm gonna like hold the wires where I had them for a minute, and then as I notice Snake Man go around the corner, I'm gonna drop him and follow real quick.
Okay.
Skittering, tampering feet running behind him.
As soon as you get off of the circular platform, and Amic has crossed the threshold of that open door, you hear the whirring of a motor as that circular platform starts to lift. And what you see is a large monstrosity of a creature that looks to everyone and says, "I will consume your souls."
So, you had one simple instruction.
And
I shouldn't have chopped those wires.
after he says, "I will consume your souls," he says, "I am the guardian of Tulak Horde's tomb. You shall not go any further." And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh dear. I didn't do it, guys. I didn't do it. I wanted to go down the other passage.
Certain death or treasure.
I was just looking for shiny rocks.
Why not? Porque no los dos.
Why not?
I mean, certain death.
Okay, well,
We'll
I'm gonna
see how
go.
you guys handle this.
That one's grumpy.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Adios, man.
Oh, well, 1 second.
Bye.
Skype lets me. Okay, there we go. Have a wonderful
Okay.
evening. Bye.
Bye. Hope you all enjoyed.
I'm gonna stab it
Yeah.
with a knife. That has my DNA on it.
Couldn't think of interesting things to do in this particular cave system, so winging it here.
Got some that are very intriguing.
Yeah. Can't believe Amic got that force vibe.
Right?
What up?
That was awesome.
It's because I had a particular connection to the item.
Clearly.
Possible. Or maybe this Eater of Souls was sending you a message.
I am lawful evil. He might have been. I don't know.
That's how Amic found his first cursed weapon.
I was gonna say, Amic could be a Sith Lord. You don't know. You don't know.
I don't know.
He's an arcane archer. He has
Yeah.
access to some magic.
Some magic.